you guys, it's Josie with Two Sisters Homestead. So today I'm having to make some cinnamon rolls for some family and us and things like that. So I decided to go ahead and bring you along with us. These cinnamon rolls, the regular cinnamon rolls that I make, are extremely good. I make them all the time. They're homemade. They're pretty simple for the most part. The dough is so amazing and everything. And then I'm also making a banana bread cinnamon roll with peanut butter frosting, which is really good. My sister wanted this. She wanted me to make it for so long and stuff like that. So I finally made it for her and she loved it. So I'm making that too for us and some family members as well. So I just thought I would take y'all along with me just to see how I do this, and I will link all the recipes down in the description box down below. You want 1 cup of warm milk around 110 to 115 degrees. And we are just going to add this into our stand mixer bowl. And then we are going to add 2 1/4 teaspoons of your yeast. And then we are just going to let that sit a little bit, let it get a little bit of foamy, and then we will come right back. Once your yeast is active, you want to add in a 1/2 cup of softened butter. And then we're going to add in a 1/2 cup of sugar. And then we're going to add in 2 of our large eggs. So there is 2 eggs, and now we are just going to mix this up until it is just combined. Once that is done getting mixed up, you want to go ahead and add in a teaspoon of salt, and then you will start adding in 4 cups of flour. You do want to try to scoop it in just so so it won't be packed down or anything like that. So once you add that in, you want to mix it up right until it's combined, and then we'll switch out the beater. So it's getting combined. So now we are going to go ahead and switch our beater to the dough hook. Okay, so after you change your hook, then you just want to let it sit here and let it rest and do its thing for about 5 minutes, and then we'll come back to it. So after your 5 minutes of letting it sit, then you want to go ahead and knead it for about 5 to 7 minutes. After we transfer it into a glazed bowl, we are going to add on some plastic wrap or a towel, whatever you want to do, and we are going to set this aside until it doubles in size for about 30 minutes to an hour. So to a different bowl, you're going to add in a 1/2 cup of butter. along with a cup of packed brown sugar. And then you're going to need 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. And then we're going to add in a half a teaspoon of vanilla. And a half a teaspoon of butter extract. And then we're just going to mix this together really well. And we're just going to let it sit until our dough is done. And then once our dough is done, then I will bring you back. So now we are emptying out our dough onto a floured surface. And once we do this, we are also going to flour our rolling pin so that the dough doesn't stick. We are going to roll out our dough into a rectangle shape and get it probably about half to an inch thick, and just roll it out so that we can apply the cinnamon mixture to it. Here I'm just cutting off the edges just to make it a little bit straighter and more of a rectangle instead of the rounded edges.
Got dirty. I'll be going to see.
Now we are applying our cinnamon mixture for the inside of our cinnamon rolls, and I'm just going to spread this as evenly as I can along the dough so that it can be our filling for the inside.
You and Sophia mess. You clean up your mess. Oh, you just got a whole pack of construction paper. Who is it, Sophia? Is it monkey dolls or just yours?
Now you want to start at the longer side of the rectangle and go ahead and start pulling those onto itself, and then we will just continue from there. Roll the cinnamon rolls as tightly as we can, even though it can get a little hard. And once we get done doing that, we will be able to start cutting them. Okay, you guys, so I poured a half a cup of heavy whipping cream that I warmed up just a little bit and poured it all over my rolls. Now they are in the oven at 375 for 20 to 22 minutes. So now we have the rolls out. And now I'm going to go ahead and start making the frosting for them. So for the frosting, you just want to add in some softened cream cheese. However, I don't have none, so I'm just going to go ahead and just put it in the microwave for a little bit. So we're going to add this into our bowl.
spoon? Please. Baby spoon.
Okay, you guys, and then to this, you need a 1/3 cup of butter. So we're going to do that. And you want it softened, so I'm just going to go ahead and add it into the bowl with the cream cheese and put it in the microwave just for a little bit. And then we will bring it back and add the rest of the stuff. So now we are just going to mix this up with the hand mixer. And once you get done mixing that up, you want to add 2½ cups of powdered sugar. And then you want to add a tablespoon of maple extract. I never knew adding the maple extract would add something different to it, but it really does. So now we're just going to mix this up really well, and then the longer you mix it, the whiter it is. So it just depends on what color you want it. So if you want a little bit more of a yellow tint, you can not mix it as much, but if you want it more white, then you mix it longer. And there is our frosting. So I'm just going to set this aside and wait for the cinnamon rolls to cool off a little bit longer, and then once they do, we will go ahead and frost them. And now we got 2 sets of the regular cinnamon rolls complete, and they have been frosted. Hey guys, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it off for tonight, and then I'll come back tomorrow and do the banana bread cinnamon rolls for you guys. If I'm seeming a little bit off, it's because I'm gotten allergic to something and I don't know what it is. So I have a rash on me that's really itchy, and I've been to the doctor and stuff like that. I got steroids, but we just don't know what I'm allergic to yet, so we're just trying to wait and figure that out. But I will be back tomorrow to do the banana bread cinnamon rolls, so stay tuned. Okay, you guys, so finally getting around to the banana bread with the peanut butter frosting cinnamon rolls. So to your mixing bowl, you want to add in a 1/2 cup of water that's about 110 degrees, and then you want to add in 2 1/4 teaspoon of your yeast. And then to this, you also want to add in some honey. So we're going to do 1 tablespoon of honey. We're going to do half of the sugar, so half of 1/3 cups of sugar is what we're going to do. And then we're just going to mix this up really well. And then we're just going to wait about 5 to 10 minutes for this to activate till it gets a little bit foamy, and then I will bring you back. To a saucepan, you just want to add the remaining sugar, 6 tablespoons of butter, and 1/2 cup of milk. And we're just going to warm this up until it gets little bubbles like around the pan. just so it's just not boiling, but just little bubbles. Okay, so while that is coming to a warmth, then we are going to start mashing up our bananas. So you do want ripe bananas, and you want a cup of mashed. The rapper they are, the better your cinnamon rolls will taste. So we have the bananas in here with the dough whisk, and now we're going to add in the milk mixture. To this, you want to add in your yeast mixture. So now we're going to add 3½ cups of flour to a bowl. You guys, my sister Lacey's over here talking about an emu because my mom around her house, she had an emu that was just, I guess it was somebody, I don't know. But Lacey wanted us to go get it, to go pick it up in our car or SUV, to bring it all the way out here. And it was taller than me, and she thinks that she was going to be able to get it. And got upset that her husband said, "I'm sorry, but I can't do that."
One thing about us, those get big eggs.
Now he said you don't stuff it in your car, doesn't he?
I know, I heard.
But my sister didn't want to eat on her car.
How would you?
What's the matter though? I'm just gonna make it away if I say I want it.
Big eggs, but I don't know if they have. I want one.
Mind you guys, they do kick and all that other stuff.
And bite and tag with their sour soybean.
Okay, now to this, you want to add in your salt and spices. So you need 1 teaspoon of salt. One teaspoon of cinnamon.
Y'all better than me. I'd have just shot it.
And then we need 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. And then you just want to mix this up. So you just want to add this a little bit at a time with the dough hook on. Okay, you guys, so you want to make sure that you are mixing up your flour in the mixer for about 3 minutes, and this dough is very sticky, so you might have to end up adding some more flour than what it calls for, which I did, just because I'm not working with it when it's that sticky. Now I'm going to flour my surface, and I'm gonna put some flour on my rolling pin. And when you get this dough out, you do need like a spatula, a silicone spatula. So we will use this one. And this is how it looks. Come on, Ian. It smells really good. Smell it? Okay, so first what we want to do is put a little bit of flour on top of it, like that, and then we want to fold it about 5 times, trying to make sure that you don't deflate it. That was probably actually more than 5 times, but that's okay. And then now what you want to do, I'm gonna get me a little bit more flour. So now what you want to do is begin to start rolling it out into like a 9 by 12 area. And like I said, you guys, this is really sticky. So make sure you use enough flour, but don't make it too dry either. Okay, so now to a bowl, you want to have 4 tablespoons of room temperature butter, a cup of brown sugar, and then 1 1/4 teaspoons of cinnamon. Just like that, and then what you want to do is mix this up. And then what I like to do is mix it up to a certain point and then start using my hands. And then you just want to evenly spread this onto the dough. You want to leave a little bit of room on the edges just in case it decides to spread out. And so now I'm gonna wash my hands and then we're going to start rolling them up. So now I have a 9x13 that I greased on the side, and now what you want to just do is start trying to roll your dough up as tightly as you can get it.
That's cinnamon. That's cinnamon roll?
Yeah, it's the banana bread one. Banana bread one.
Oh.
With the peanut butter. So now I'm gonna use the dough scraper and, or whatever you call this thing, and start cutting them up. I'm gonna leave the end one off. And like I said, you guys, this dough is super sticky. So when you're doing this, you either want to try to clean off your blade each time after you cut, or you want to add more flour, which is what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm actually going to add this in one as well. And now you want to just put some saran wrap over this and a towel over it, and then we are going to let it sit for about an hour to 3 hours depending on your house, and then we'll be back once it's doubled in size to finish out the process. Adding in an 8-ounce block of cream cheese to this. We have a family over currently, so I wasn't able to talk in this because they were all talking and stuff like that, so I'm going to be doing this voice over. Owen was getting a little bit fussy, so he was going down for his afternoon nap. Here we added in a teaspoon of vanilla extract.
He wants his mama. Mama's cooking.
Then we're going to add in some powdered sugar. And we are doing 2 cups of that. To that, we are going to be adding in some peanut butter, since this is a peanut butter cream cheese frosting that we are putting on the top. And we're going to do about a cup of that. So And now we are going to just mix this all together until it is well combined. And actually on this day, Owen did not take a nap. He just got hurt or fell down or whatever, so that's why Mike brought him to me. But we are just mixing this up really well as good as we can to get it nice and creamy. And as you can see, I was having a little bit of a hard time at first, but then it all worked out. This frosting became a little bit hard for me to mix, so I did add some milk just until it was a little bit creamier and more pliable. And I had to do this the last time I made this recipe as well. For some reason, the peanut butter does not want to mix up very well at all, and it didn't change the taste whatsoever. I couldn't tell a difference on the frosting. So we baked those for about 25 to 30 minutes in a preheated oven of 375. Now we are adding in our frosting to our cinnamon rolls. These were really good, you guys. My family loves these, and everybody else that I've made them for likes them as well. So this is a must-try recipe. If you are tired of the regular cinnamon rolls, this is a good alternative to those and something a little bit different for your family to enjoy. But friends, that is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed these two recipes, and I hope you try them as well. If you do, always be sure to let me know down in the comments how you liked it, and I will see you next time.